Hey guys, today we'll be looking at why Joe Biden is on track for a historical landslide victory against incumbent Donald Trump in the 2020 election. So I've already filled in the safe states for either candidate. These states are going to go red no matter what, and these states are going to go blue no matter what. And so today we're going to talk about all of the recent polling data that has come out from all of these swing states and how Joe Biden is leading in the most recent poll in all of them. He leads in all of these gray states at the moment. First, we're going to start with the Sun Belt and look at the state of Nevada. Nevada went to Hillary Clinton narrowly in 2016. She won the state by 2.4%. However, currently Biden leads in Nevada by 8.8%. So at this moment, Biden is probably going to win in the state of Nevada. Next is the state of Arizona, a state in which Donald Trump actually carried in 2016. He won the state by almost 3%. However, ever since early March, Biden has taken the lead in Arizona, and his lead has been gradually increasing. He's now almost 5% up against President Trump. So I will give the state of Arizona to Joe Biden. Next is the state of Colorado, a state in which Hillary Clinton won in 2016 by only 5%. However, as you can see, Biden saw a huge jump in mid-April, another jump in early May, and his lead has just been increasing up until the point in which now Joe Biden leads by 17.9% in the state of Colorado, a state that is becoming more and more liberal. Next is the state of New Mexico. This is the state that the Democrats have won since 2008, how the Republicans won in 2004. And Hillary Clinton won this state by 8.3%. However, currently Joe Biden leads by 14% in the latest New Mexico poll. So I'll give the state of New Mexico to Joe Biden. Next is the state of Texas, which is quite surprising. Texas went to Trump by 9%. And it's one of the states that the media says is a swing state in every single election. However, you know that Texas is probably still going to go to the Republicans. However, in 2020, with Trump's unpopularity, this may not be the case, as Trump only leads by 0.2% in the state of Texas, which is basically a tie. And in the latest poll released by Fox News, actually, Biden actually leads Trump by 1% in a state that he won by 9% in 2016. So I will give the state of Texas to Trump at the moment. However, this is one of the first times in 40 years that the Democrats actually might have a chance of actually flipping the state of Texas for the Democrats. And if Joe Biden wins the state of Texas, he basically wins the election, because if Texas flips, most of these states will definitely flip. So I will give the state of Texas to the Republicans for right now. Next, we're going to look at the Rust Belt, first with Minnesota. In the state of Minnesota, Biden currently leads by 16% in the latest polls. The state has gone to a Democrat since 1976. However, the Democratic lead has been shrinking in recent elections. Hillary Clinton narrowly won the state by 1.5% in 2016. However, Joe Biden might just be able to overturn Hillary Clinton's small lead and win the state by over 10%. So I will give the state of Minnesota to Joe Biden. Next is the state of Iowa. Iowa was won by Donald Trump by 9.5% in 2016, which was quite a surprise considering that Barack Obama won the state twice by over 5%. So currently Iowa is actually in favor of Vice President Biden by 0.4%. As you can see, since the beginning of June, in the riots beginning, Biden's lead has been approaching Trump's, and he is now up by 0.4%. Most polls show Trump ahead, however, Biden does lead in the state of Iowa. So I will give the state of Iowa to Joe Biden. However, I do think Donald Trump still has a very large chance of winning the state of Iowa in 2020 again. Next, we'll be looking at the state of Wisconsin. This is one of the states that went to Donald Trump by less than 1% in 2016, and this was the only state in which the polls got wrong in 2016. Hillary Clinton led by over 6% there, and Donald Trump actually won the state by around 0.7%, I believe, which was out of the margin of error. However, currently in the state of Wisconsin, Joe Biden leads by 9.6%. So even if the 7% flip in favor of the Republicans did occur in 2020, Joe Biden would still win in the state of Wisconsin. That is just how strong his lead nationwide that is just how strong his lead nationwide is currently. Next is the other Rust Belt state of Michigan. This is the other state that Trump won by less than 1%. He won the state by less than 13,000 votes. And in the state of Michigan, currently, Joe Biden leads by 10.7%. Polls did show that Hillary Clinton would narrowly win in the state. However, Trump's victory was in the margin of error. However, if Trump was to win right now, it would not be. So even if the tilt in favor of the Republicans will occur in the 2020 election, Joe Biden would still win in the state of Michigan, as he is currently up 9.6% in the polls. So Michigan, I'll put in the Biden column. Next is the state of Ohio. Ohio has been America's bellwether state for over 60 years now, as the winner in the state of Ohio has gone on to become the president in all elections in the past 60 years. This state went to Trump by 8.1% in 2016. So Biden currently leading by 2.7% is quite surprising, considering Trump's large victory in the state of Ohio 4 years ago. However, polling data has been pretty close between the two candidates in Ohio. Biden has been in the lead most of the time. Trump has been in the lead for just a little bit. However, at the moment, Biden leads by 2.7% in Ohio. It's still entirely possible that Trump could retake the state. However, currently Biden leads in this swing state of Ohio. Next is the last state in which Donald Trump won by less than 1%. It is the state of Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's home state, in which he leads by 8.1%. He has been leading in this state, as well as Hillary Clinton, who was leading in the state in 2016. However, she lost, well within the margin of error, according to polling data. So if Trump was able to better the polls like he did in 2016, Biden would still win in his home state of Pennsylvania. That really just also goes to show just, again, how strong Biden's lead is in, almost all of the swing states at the moment. Next, we'll be looking at the northeastern state of New Hampshire. In the state of New Hampshire, Biden currently leads by 8.6%. This is quite large considering the fact that Hillary Clinton only narrowly won this state in 2016 by the smallest of margins. She won by 0.4%. In a state that has voted with the Democrats since 2004. However, Biden is able to lead in this state at the moment. He's leading by almost 9%. So I will give the state of New Hampshire, typically classified as a swing state. However, it typically does go to the Democratic Party. Next, we'll be looking at the state of Virginia, which was a Republican stronghold. However, in recent elections, it has turned more and more liberal. So at the moment, Biden leads by 11.4% in the state of Virginia. This state went to Hillary Clinton by 5.4% in 2016. And Biden's 11-point margin is enough for me to categorize the state of Virginia as pretty likely for the vice president. Next, we'll be looking at the state of North Carolina. This state went to Donald Trump, I believe, in 2016. He won this state by 3.6%. However, Biden has been leading in the polling here for quite a while now. He has been in the lead since, the beginning of this graph. And he currently leads over Trump by 2.9%. He leads in all the recent polls in the last 4 since June 24th. And Biden is set to flip the state of North Carolina for the Democratic Party. Next, we'll be taking a look at the state of Georgia. In the state of Georgia, Biden leads by 1.4%. This was also a state that went to Trump and has gone to the Republicans since 1996. Trump won this state by over 5% in 2016. However, his lead has never been that large in this state for 2020. And Biden was able to overtake him in early June. And he now leads in all the recent Georgia polls. So Georgia I will give for the Democrats as well. Next is the crucial state of Florida. If Florida flips, many of these states will possibly flip. The state of Florida has gone to both Democrats and Republicans in recent elections. Barack Obama won this state twice, as well as Donald Trump, who won it in 2016. Currently, Biden leads by 7.3%. So if he was to win this state by 7.3%, he would have the largest margin in Florida in over 20 years. Trump actually led in this state for a while. they're basically tied for a while there, and then Biden's lead started to increase, and it's increasing more and more after the riots and protests have began. His lead is currently increasing. He now leads by 7.3% in the state of Florida. So I will give the state of Florida to Joe Biden. So looking at all of this, if Joe Biden was to really win, all the states in which he's leading in the polls, he would win 374 electoral votes, which is pretty, it would be a pretty substantial landslide for the Democratic Party, as this was larger than Barack Obama's victory in 2008, which is regarded as a present day electoral college landslide, as because of the political climate at the moment, it's really hard to even get over 300 electoral votes. So looking at this, Joe Biden is expected to win 374 electoral votes according to all the polling data that's come out, and Donald Trump is expected to win 164. Now, in the state of Texas, in which Joe Biden is only behind by 0.2%, if he was to win the state of Texas, he would have the largest victory for the Democratic Party since Lyndon Johnson, I believe, in the 1960s. So this is a pretty big deal, and Trump's re-election campaign is really in trouble at the moment. And as you can see, Biden leads in basically every single swing state. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe as well as leaving a like on this video. That would be much appreciated, and I will see you for the next video.